Chapter 15. Pointing in the right direction. Mava, Jindai, and Zola continue down the mountain volcano. They think they hear peculiar things in the forest, but they can't see anyone else there. Zola sees in her mind different beings around her in this area, but none of them have bodies, except one person close by. Mava and Jindai prepare for the worst, but Zola reassures them it's not someone they should fear, but someone they should find. Mava isn't trusting at first, but Jindai asks Zola where to go, so Mava reluctantly follows. The ladies move through the brush and trees, and just as they think they're close, Zola shouts, "Get down!" She pulls Mava and Jindai toward her and throws up a telekinetic shield. 2 giant energy balls explode against it. 4 Lyrans crash down from above, surrounding the women. They point their guns and the women begin to battle. Together, they knock them all out, but Zola senses another pack nearby. "There's too many of them coming. You guys, and quickly! We need to run!" The team runs in a direction Zola thinks will lead them away from the Lyrans, but she keeps having them change direction until she senses they're surrounded. Mava groans. "Screw this! I'm not running anymore!" She uses her lava rock to summon the Firebird, and the Lyrans see it. They cower in fear, yet after a moment, they charge again. "You guys really don't know who you're messing with, do you?" Mava says. Preparing to command the Firebird to blaze their enemies, but then a woman drops down from behind them, grabs her arm and says, "No, the forest will be burned. Come with me." The mysterious woman grabs Mava and Jindai by the arms and flies into the air. Zola lifts herself telepathically and helps the woman carry them, keeping up a psychic barrier to protect them while they're fired upon. The team quickly flies up the cliff they're against and over it. They stop to catch their breath and calm down. Zola searches with her senses and says, "There's nothing we need to worry about at the moment. They're far away now." The woman stops to catch her breath as well. You're that woman from the temple?" Jindai asks, noticing golden energy emanating from her body. "Passion, isn't it?" Mava asks, examining her blonde hair and white dress. The woman dusts herself off and responds, "Yes, that is who I am." "How did we happen to come across you? I wouldn't have thought you'd still be around after we saw you at that temple. We had no idea how old those messages were," Jindai says. "The temple with the depictions of that ancient goddess?" Zola asks. "How would…" Mava begins, then realizes Zola could have already read their minds about the temple. "I see it in your minds, both of you," Zola confirms. "I am fortunate to find the 3 of you," Passion says. "3 of what?" Jindai asks, puzzled. "Guardians," Passion replies. "Is that what you call us?" Mava asks. "All 3 of us?" Zola questions. "Yes," Passion responds without hesitation. "What about Leandra and Vorsha?" Mava asks. Passion pauses as though trying to understand the question. She looks around as if other people are there to speak to. "The green-haired woman with the large sword made of ice," Passion asks. "Is that the Leandra you speak of?" Mava, Jindai, and Zola look dumbfounded for a moment and say nothing. "What are you talking about, lady?" Mava asks angrily. "Who are you anyway? I mean, thank you for saving us and all, but who the sons are you? Why do you keep looking around like you're talking to invisible people? Mother! Zola cuts in. She stares at Passion as she reads her mind. That woman from the snow. She looks upset, as though about to cry. It is Leandra. It's her, your friend you lost before you met me. Spit it out! Mava's anger rises along with her voice. I'll gladly explain everything and who I am, as it seems I am still attempting to fully understand myself. Passion reassures them, looking at Zola with a glare. It's as though Zola fully understands her thoughts at this point. I can show them, Zola says. Great. You're obviously a proficient telepath, I'm assuming. Passion responds. Zola holds out her right hand in the middle of the group. Close your eyes, and I will show you, she says to Mava and Jindai. What about those agents on our tail? Mava asks. I will warn us if I see them in my mind, Zola assures her. Mava hesitates, then closes her eyes. All three women see a flashback and feel as though they're there on the snow-covered mountain where Passion ended up. From Passion's point of view, they see Leandra walking in the snow, wearing a completely different outfit than usual. She's in a long blue dress with white beads lining the seams. She holds a large blade of ice, longer than her entire body. They see her walk slowly toward Passion, who is also in the flashback. Wind blows snow into their faces. Leandra stops before coming any closer. Out of my way, Leandra demands. She lifts her large sword of ice with ease and points it at Passion. Who are you? Passion asks. I said, get out of my way! Leandra raises her wrist and blasts wind toward Passion, pushing her back slightly. I have never seen you before. You can't be the one I saw land not long ago, not far from here, Passion says with strained sadness. Leandra holds out her hand as if to unleash more wind. Passion raises her own and creates a shield of light in front of her. Leandra lowers her hand. You've just confirmed what I could hardly allow myself to believe, but know deep inside to be true, Leandra says. I could say the same to you, Passion replies. Leandra smiles. What great powers you possess, Leandra proclaims. Too bad they couldn't have been used when I nearly had my head chopped off. She unleashes bone-chilling wind toward Passion again. Passion flies out of its path and lands elsewhere, firing a ball of light at Leandra before touching down. Leandra swipes at the attack with her ice sword, and it explodes. She looks at the remains of her blade on the ground, then laughs. What is your name? Passion yells through the wind and snow. Don't try to beguile me with your disingenuous pragmatism, Leandra shouts. You let people die. You would let me die too, wouldn't you? Why aren't you doing anything to stop this madness? What are you talking about? Passion shouts back. She thinks for a moment and wonders if she knows what Leandra is referring to. Are you talking about the Emerald City, frozen in ice? Did you do that? Too bad you were too late, Leandra says. How could this have happened to you? Passion asks. What have they done to you? Leandra laughs hysterically. What have they done to me? They have no power over me, not the agents, not the people, not chaos, not anybody. You're not an agent of chaos, Passion asks scrupulously. Everything will feel the pain and betrayal I have felt and continue to feel, especially chaos, Leandra responds. Passion stops for a moment, confused. She is not an agent of chaos. Passion whispers to herself. I am not an agent of anyone! Leandra howls back, letting Passion know she can hear her even though she whispered. Wait, Leandra asks. Where is it? That voice, it comes again. Leandra looks around, distracted from Passion. Have you seen it? Seen what? Passion asks politely, noticing Leandra is clearly disturbed. The Wendigo! Leandra yells with fury. Nothing shall be indomitable to me! Leandra raises her hands and creates an orb of wind around her, lifting her into the air and away from Passion. Leandra looks over at her. Who are you really? Your friend, Passion responds. Leandra turns her face away with a blank scowl, then flies out of sight. Wait! Passion cries out, but Leandra is too far away to hear her. Mava, Jendai, Zola, and Passion open their eyes again, removing themselves from the flashback and returning their minds to the jungle they're standing in. They've found us, Zola warns. She looks through the brush as she senses more Lyrans. They move into the clearing around the women with weapons pointed at them. Jendai releases a piercing noise from her vocal cords that disorients the Lyrans and explodes their weapons. She discovers a new power within her to create a deafening barrier. After that, the four women battle the Lyrans and defeat them. We must leave this place quickly. I came here to meet with a friend, Passion explains. She takes the team through the jungle to an alcove behind a small waterfall. Inside the alcove, they see a man in robes resembling those of the monks from Zumuridi Imgi. Jendai immediately recognizes the man and becomes startled. You! Jendai shouts, rearing up for battle. The man puts up his hands as though to surrender. Please, please don't, the man says. I apologize for anything that happened before. Passion has shown me light, and I do not remember everything from before, but if I have hurt you, please forgive me. Passion walks in front of him as though blocking him from Jendai. His name is Grandel, Passion states. Passion introduces them again to Grandel, whom she has helped transform back toward the light. He is no longer tormented by the darkness. You! Jendai shouts at Grandel, remembering him from the caves she fell into. Please, please forgive me, Grandel pleads. What is going on here? Jendai asks, looking at Passion. I found Grandel in the caves you mentioned, Passion says. He was attempting to make his way out of the rubble leading out of the cave. I could sense his suffering and that he was blinded by Chaos's psychological grip. I raised my hand and created a beam of light. I could finally see clearly, Grandel says. The darkness clouding my vision had finally started to melt away. I was like a bug flying into the light late at night. Grendel begins crying. Please, I had no idea what I was doing. When chaos had taken over my mind, I had fallen into the caves just as you did. The cave walls must have prevented chaos from controlling me anymore. But the damage had already been done. I was lost, and all I could see was darkness. Passion brought me back. Jindai looks at Grendel for a while, still uncertain how to feel after being terrified by him. I understand, Jindai says stoically, still not warming up even after hearing Grendel's story. Passion explains that they have all come together not just coincidentally, she believes. She believes they can heal Leandra and help her. Grendel goes through a tunnel in the alcove behind the waterfall that leads back towards Zumaridi and Guy and the monks who live there now. Passion asks the team for help finding her next portal to travel to another location on the planet. The team searches the jungle, battling Lyrans while looking for the energy waypoint Passion can use to warp. Eventually, they help Passion find the portal she is searching for, and she disappears through it to an unknown location. The team continues in the direction Passion suggests, toward an icy, snow-covered mountain where they believe they can find Leandra.